There was a time when I used to think that bodyweight training was more limited in how strong you can get and how much you can progress versus like weightlifting, which was a lot more potential to get stronger and bigger and everything like that. Now, believe it or not, I think the opposite is true. I think weightlifting, as most people approach it, is a hell of a lot more limiting, and bodyweight training has much more potential for your progress. And the lesson from bodyweight training, when you apply it to weightlifting, can bring you a lot more progress. Here's what I'm talking about. We start off in a baseline. Okay, we have a certain amount of capability, a certain amount of strength with weights and with the bodyweight training. Now, the thought is we have two things that we're doing to add and progress our workouts. We have reps, okay? And in the case of this, we have weight, okay? Not so much with the bodyweight training. Let's just play and say that loaded bodyweight stuff doesn't exist in this scenario, okay? Now, the thing is, you start here and you do a few exercises, let's say a bench press or whatever, and you go so far, and then you're like, okay, I'm at this level here, now I add more weight. And you bring it to another baseline, you just keep going up and up and up. Bodyweight training, your body weight stays the same, so you're here, you start doing like, 50 push-ups a night, and then you supposedly stop. This is where most people are basically figuring the weights versus bodyweight stuff. Bodyweight, you only went this far. Weights, you kept going up because you can add weight to the bar. Makes sense. And if anything, we're like, well, we can add reps, and pretty soon we're going maybe a little more strength, but it's more about endurance and so on. So it seems limited, and this is what I used to think, and this is what I used to do, but here's the kicker, okay? This is very limited because we're adding reps, we're adding weight. The thing is, you can only do this for so long. It's kind of like back in Vermont, I had a little running loop that I used to run, and when I started doing it, I timed it so I could run it faster and faster and faster and faster, and I kept chopping off time, and I went from doing like 23 minutes or so down to like 15 minutes. So I was like, yeah, this is awesome, this is great, but the problem is, you're only gonna go so far with this. I knew, like, I'm not gonna be able to run this loop in like 30 seconds. There's just going to get a point where I can't run it any faster. The same thing with weights, okay? You can only get so heavy, okay? You're only gonna get so many reps in a workout. You're gonna hit a wall because what these two things rely on is you to work harder. And you can only work so hard. This is why I'm always telling people, never rely on hard work alone for your success, because you can only work so hard. You can only bust your ass so much. So you're going to get to this point and that's it. You're only going that far. Now, with the bodyweight stuff, if you want more resistance, you advance your technique. Okay, you do the exercise to a higher level. And this is what I like to call technical convergence. Because the essence of progression in all forms of exercise is how well do you do the exercise, which is another way of saying how well do you use your body. So you improve your technique. The neat thing is reps are finite, weight is finite, technique is infinite. You can always improve your technique. I mean, hell, in Taekwondo, like, I've been doing this for nearly 27 years. I'm still doing it better. I'm still learning ways to progress it. And it's just this. It's just a simple punch, right? So with bodyweight training, you learn how to do your technique better to get more resistance, and you can keep going up and up and up. And I don't care if you've been doing push-ups for the past 50 years. You can always learn ways to do them to a higher level. Therefore, you're progressing your technique and you're getting better results. Now, the lesson here is if you can take this approach, if you like weightlifting, look to your technique. Okay? It's not always about the weight and the reps and everything like that. The people who ultimately get the best results from weightlifting are those who make their technique the focal point of their training. They don't care that much about their reps or their weight. In fact, if you give them a better technique, that means they have to do less weight. They will jump on it like crazy. But a lot of people will be like, I don't want to use that more advanced technique because it means I lift less weight. Their ego gets involved, gets in the way. And that's the way I used to do it. People sometimes come to me as a trainer like, oh, I can bench press 225, and by the time I'm done with them, they're struggling with 135. It's a tough blow to the ego. But if you make the technique, which is really the only thing that matters, the focal point, that's what's going to change your body. So with bodyweight training, this is a necessity. You can't fool yourself into thinking that, well, if I just add more weight, I'm getting stronger. It's all here. It has to be there. So you can apply it to weightlifting, but this is why I tell people there's more potential progression to get stronger and more fit with bodyweight training, because you have to focus on that. You can't do your push-ups the same way and expect the resistance to change. With weights, you can. You can add weight to the bar, but you're still using the same technique. You're still doing it in the same way. All you're doing is you're working harder, and hard work, my friend, will only take you so far, and trust me, it's not that far. Till then, be fit, live free.